Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking HYLN, one of my favorite EV companies. Now if you remember, early in January, I called for a 30% push on the stock by the end of January. From the beginning of January, we were sitting around at $15 and now we're sitting almost at $20 on the stock. Pre-market, we're sitting at $19.50 and I assume we're going to get another little push up to the $20.50 range. But we're going to get right into the chart here in a little bit. Before we get into that content, I need you to do one thing. Hit the like, subscribe button down below and make sure you have the notifications turned on because I'm posting videos twice every single day regarding stocks that I'm trading and long-term outlook. And you don't want to miss the long-term stocks that I'm adding to the portfolio that I post on my channel. The most recent long-term stock is actually going to be High Tide. The company is absolutely killing it. So go look down below for the penny stock. Let's not waste any more time. Let's get into it. HYLN actually had some pretty big recent news. They appointed a new senior vice president of marketing, kind of to expand the reach of the company, which actually has me more and more bullish on the company. If you know anything about the way that I invest, I am looking for long-term growth companies in expanding sectors. And this is kind of what it is. HYLN is a growth company in the EV space, also in a growth sector of the EV space. EV is a massive growth sector and has lots of room and lots of promise, especially here in America. We're going to get exactly into what Joe Biden said earlier. So HYLN names industry veteran Matthew Luce as Senior Vice President of Marketing. Luce has an extensive background leading brand strategy, overseeing new business development and increasing revenue growth for global billion-dollar companies. He will help deliver HYLN's commercial vision. This is really good because they're going to the commercial space of these diesel trucks. Which if you watch my last video, this is what has me so bullish on them. This is a sector that directly needs someone to focus on them, and HYLN is only focused on these trucks. That's what has me. They're zoned in exactly on this niche, and they are very motivated to get it going. Luce brings over 20 years of experience designing and implementing product, pricing, and program strategy at a commercial transportation leaders, including Bridgestone Americas. Bridgestone's a very large company, Bridgestone Tires, and they work in other things besides tires, but tires are what they're most known for. He was pretty good and actually developed that brand very, very well. A little bit more about this. Prior to this role, Luce worked at a commercial industry leader at Bridgestone Americas, where he held various roles of increasing responsibility across the organization's multiple business units, including Bandag, Bridgestone Commercial, and Firestone Building Products. Firestone's actually the most known thing. I'm sure everyone's heard about Firestone here in America. If you're in Canada, I don't really know. But Firestone's a major player in the automotive industry. So this is really good that they're bringing a veteran who has established brands previously. And then this is what has me almost the most interested. Luce partnered with strategic sales teams to lead the pricing and supply contract negotiations with major national fleet customers, strategic original equipment manufacturers. So the word fleet has me excited, and it's funny that they're bringing him in almost 2 days after Joe Biden makes his comment. Joe Biden said about 2 days ago, the federal government owns an enormous fleet of vehicles, which we're going to replace with clean electric vehicles made right here in America by American workers. The federal government maintains a fleet of 645,000 vehicles, according to the General Service Administration's 2019 Federal Fleet Report, released in 2020. So it's probably increased from this range. Of these, about 412,000 are trucks. This is the key factor of what we're talking about here. And if you want to get even more niche specific, 39% of those are heavy duty trucks. To qualify as a medium duty as well, but I will just to be safe do the 39,000 heavy duty trucks. I don't think that HYLN's only target is going to be the government, but I think the government is kind of incentivizing them to make this step forward. And if the government is going to be pushing this on themselves, I assume they're going to be pushing it on the states as well. We're already seeing California going to zero emissions by 2030, I believe. I assume other states will be jumping on board with this as well. Yes, I know there are some major kind of complications to be looking at when we're looking from diesel trucks to actually clean energy trucks based on charge time, distance covered, because it's going to be different when you're hauling that much of a load behind you.
Daddy, chill.
Come on, be mature. I don't really want to talk about that problem because it hasn't really arose yet. Once we get kind of into the finished product and we actually see how far it's going, I assume HYLN already has this on their mind. They wouldn't just be not thinking about the battery life, so that it's kind of something we should be considering as well. Another thing he said, he wants them to be made right here in America, which HYLN is trying to focus on as well, which has me even more excited. The only kind of potential competitor here, in my opinion, is going to be Workhorse, which I'll make a video on down in the future, but I think Workhorse also has potential, especially with the USPS. But let's get right into the chart so I can actually show you what we're doing and how we actually have grown here in January. Okay, so this blue circle right here is actually where we made that video around the 5th, 6th range. We were sitting at about $15 about 4 weeks ago. As you see from that level, that 1520, 1540 level, we actually pushed up to about, give or take, 1970, making almost 30%, 29.69 if we round up 30%, give or take. And so you can actually see the little clip right here. And this isn't to brag or anything like that, but I got a lot of hate in my other comments saying HYLN didn't get the push, didn't get the push. But as you see, we had a massive support at this range, which we came down, retested, and bumped right back up. Call it luck, call whatever you want. I mentioned that the Biden administration was going to be pushing this out with the blue wave, and you know what? EV is doing incredibly well. But the question is, am I taking some profits now? 100%. If you're in this trade still, this 20 to 2050 is going to be a heavy resistance. I don't see us breaking out of it immediately. I think we're going to have a little bit of trouble at this range. So keep that on your list. I really would want to watch this range. If we get up to it, there's about a 90% chance that we get rejected pretty quickly. This is one of those stocks I'll be looking to re-enter into, but it's not going to be immediately. Like I said before, we played this in the prior months and we had a lot of negative side, so we had to get out of it. The only reason why we bought here is because this was such a major support. Now, if you're long-term on this and you just own stock, you can hold it as long as you want. It's a little bit risky because we don't really know if they're going to develop a good enough product and they don't have any release dates set in stone yet. Unlike CCIV, which is actually releasing here in Q2. So obviously short-term, what I'm targeting is this range right up here, a $20 push. We could, get the volume and push right through it, but I'm not too hopeful and not being too wishful of getting that push. But you are seeing the OBV kind of going out of control at this time. You're seeing us getting a lot of movement, a big push up. We haven't had this amount of volume in some time. If you actually look at that leg, it's been about over a month since we had that much volume. The last time would be right here, November 3rd, all the way through the 30th. That's the last time we had that much volume. And in that time frame, we pushed from $21 all the way up to $26, $27. This is actually a bigger and better push right now, in my opinion. So looking at HYLN, am I a bull? In the long-term grand scheme of things, I think they have a lot of room to go up. They also have a gap to cover, almost at $24. Do they cover it right now? I'm not saying they are. I'm not saying they don't. Am I taking profits around this $20 to $20.50? 110%. That's where I'm getting out right now. We've covered the 30%. We covered our expectations for January. I don't want to get greedy here. The famous saying goes, hogs get fed, pigs get slaughtered. And I'm going to be pretty conservative here and take the profits as I get them. If you watch my previous videos, you know I'm not a bear on HYLN, but we have to do the educated thing here. And in my opinion, it's to take the money. That's going to be it for this video, guys. If you have any questions, comment down below and I will get to them as quickly as possible. Also, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe and turn the notifications on. I'm posting videos twice every single day, 8 a.m. right before the open and then 11 a.m. Central. Have a good one, guys. Namaste.